Hi, I am Senator Kenneth L. Gittens, Chairman of the Committee on Rules and Judiciary of the 31st Legislature of the Virgin Islands. Other committee members are, from the St. Thomas-St. John District, Senator Jeanette Millen Young, Vice Chair. From the St. Croix District, Senator Neville James, who also serves as our Senate President. Also from the St. Croix District, Senator Novell E. Francis, Jr. From the St. Thomas-St. John District, Senator Justin Harrigan, Sr. And from the St. Croix District, Senator Nerida Rivera O'Reilly. On behalf of the 31st Legislature of the Virgin Islands, and specifically those who serve on the Committee on Rules and Judiciary, I bring you warm greetings and would like to share some information with you, the general public, regarding the committee's jurisdiction and responsibilities. Additionally, I will explain the confirmation process for department heads who are nominated to serve as members of the Governor's Cabinet. Provisions set forth in Section 16C of the Revised Organic Act of 1954 and Title III, subsection 64C, speaks to the heads of executive departments being appointed by the governor and requiring the advice and consent or approval of the legislature of the Virgin Islands. Therefore, through this authority, the legislature of the Virgin Islands derives its authority to engage in this process. Additionally, Rule 516 of the 31st Legislature's rules outlines the committee's jurisdiction. The Committee on Rules and Judiciary, through the legislature's rules, grants the jurisdiction over all boards and commissions and are to make specific findings and recommendations to the appropriate authority for final action. The committee also receives, consider, and make recommendations on all appropriation bills for the expenses of the legislature. We also receive, consider, and make recommendations before reporting out for placement on the floor agenda on a bill that's favorably considered and reported out by other committees. Another major responsibility of the committee is to also receive, consider, and make recommendations on nominations for executive department heads which are made by the governor and require confirmation, or as we say, the advice and consent by the legislature. Being that we have a new administration, you will be seeing a number of these hearings frequently in the very near future and as the governor continues to identify his cabinet members. Also, the committee receives and considers bills related to family law, estate law, business and corporation laws, the administration of the court system, and the administration of our election system. The move of the election system falling directly under the jurisdiction of the Committee on Rules and Judiciary is a recent move made by the 31st Legislature and was adopted as part of our rules in the first session. The election system prior to the 31st Legislature was under the jurisdiction of the Committee on Government Affairs. Lastly, but certainly not the least, the committee receive, consider, and make recommendation on bills relating to any other board, commission, or agency whose operation or nature of business is relevant to the operation of the Committee on Rules and Judiciary. In a nutshell, we are what you will call the clearinghouse of the legislature. Let's discuss the confirmation process briefly. First, largely through committee investigations of background checks and hearings, the confirmation process allows senators to basically review and scrutinize the qualifications of nominees and identify any potential conflict of interest. The questionnaire, which was redone by my staff and I, are much more detailed than previously, which captures a lot more information. This revision was indeed needed as we do not have the luxury, like the federal government, to utilize FBI agents to conduct each background check. But I can assure you that absent having the access to agents conducting these background checks, the questionnaire will now pick up on some information that was previously overlooked. We will be taking or talking to friends, former friends, colleagues, former colleagues, teachers, employers, you name it. We'll be talking to everyone. You, the public, too, is encouraged to contact senators with any information in support of or in opposition to a nominee's confirmation. Senators can also influence policy through the confirmation process, either by rejecting nominees with just cause, of course, or by extracting promises from nominees before granting consent. And when I say promises, I mean promises of good taste that are legal, such as promises to improve morale within a department or an agency, to improve working conditions, etc. Though the legislature can delay this process, I have rarely seen this done, and it is this chairman's intent to not delay any nominations forwarded to the committee unless it is absolutely necessary. With that being said, I want to assure you that the committee will not neglect its duty and rubber stamp any nominee during this process. We want to restore leadership, integrity, fidelity, and efficiency to our government, and therefore, this is a good start. All nominees will be treated with the utmost respect, and we expect likewise that members of the body will be treated with respect. There will be some hardline questioning at times. However, it will be professional and not personal. Through the background check process, if there's any findings of adversary information that will hinder the nominee's process, the administration and/or the nominee will have the opportunity to withdraw the nomination. Though the committee only has 6 members to include myself, all 15 of the legislative body are welcome to take part in this process. It is only through this committee process and members of the legislature will have an opportunity to publicly interview the nominees. During full session, there is no opportunity to question the nominees. You either support, do not support, or abstain in your vote. The confirmation process, in a nutshell, prematurely begins when the governor makes his appointments to the various cabinet-level positions. The governor then sends his nominations formally to the office of the Senate President. The Senate President then assigns the nominations to the Committee on Rules and Judiciary. Then we start the investigatory process through biographical and financial disclosures, etc. After the committee acts, the nominations are forwarded to the full body for its consideration. On behalf of the members of the Committee on Rules and Judiciary, I wish all nominees much success and best wishes to you, the Virgin Islands community. Thank you.